Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of I'm King Ginger Live. It is great to be here. Really happy to have you guys. Man, have we got a show for you? Have we got a show for you? Man, NRG753 already in the chat. He says, "Oh man, Phil voiced that song as well." The irony. It is. It is ironic. It is sad and tragic, but I would not uh, be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for Phil. I saw Phil speak at a youth ministry conference. What was the name of that conference? YEC, Youth Evangelist Conference? Was it YEC? I think that was it. Let me look that up. YEC conference? Youth Evangelism. That's right. Yeah. So it was a YEC conference. I saw him years and years ago. I actually spoke to him a little bit afterwards. I saw him in the lobby. It was such a good talk. It talked about how he built VeggieTales, the reason he built VeggieTales, and ultimately the reason which he lost VeggieTales, which is that VeggieTales became an idol to him, and it became the most important thing. And well, as a result, he sacrificed. Uh, he lost it all because it became an idol to him. And it was really great talk, like really humbling. Like it was. I mean, it still sticks with me. But over the years, pretty much honestly, as with everybody that's ever spoken at the YEC conference, I feel like they were promoting Rob Bell at that same conference. That's where I first heard of Rob Bell. I was like, oh, Rob Bell's really great. So look, I'm just saying, not a lot of good has come from the people that conference has platformed in the long term. But I think you know. That talk actually legitimately resonated with me, still resonates with me today. But now Phil Vischer is has completely just gone off the deep end into liberalism. He's completely bowed down before the chocolate bunny, which is funny because that is such an anti-communist episode of VeggieTales. If you guys remember it, the bunny. Ooh, I love the bunny. Like it was all about welfare and redistribution. From bound up in this amazing biblical Bible story, which also, speaks of the danger of kings and coming in. And now we have Phil Vischer just absolutely crashing out on social media over ICE. Just absolutely crashing out like you've never seen before. And I wanted to kind of go through that because I think it's insanely interesting. He did a video. Let's see if I can find this video. He did a video. It was a video on equity, I think, or equality. Was that it? Come on, come on. I know it's there. I wonder if he deleted it. It was a long time ago. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. If somebody has it, knows what to search for in the chat, and you guys want to help me pull it up, that would be great too. But sometimes as I'm just going live, I just come up with things right off the top of my head, and then I gotta find it. But I know it was on equality. We're gonna watch this video if I can find it. Boy, lots of podcast videos. White privilege and racial justice. Was that what it was called? White privilege, racial justice. I thought it was a cartoon that he did, but maybe Oh, I think this is the video. They did. I think this is it. This is it. Yeah. Okay. This is it. It wasn't a cartoon. There was. I'm thinking of a political cartoon that I think you might reference in this. So here we go. Let's 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 pull this up. 1 second. Here it is.
We need to talk about.
All right. Here we go. Sorry about the little delay. Now I'm going to get Phil Vischer in my recommendations. That's not fun at all.
Race. Why are people protesting? Why are people angry? Slavery. We need to talk about race. Why are people protesting? Why are people angry? Slavery ended 150 years ago. The civil rights movement was 60 years ago. Racial discrimination is illegal now. Heck, we even had a black president. So why are people still upset? We're going to go through history and we're going to look at some data. And we're going to go quickly so this video doesn't get too long. So, hang on.
17 minutes.
These are two households.
Now, I want you to understand something. Phil Vischer was one of the top voices in evangelicalism. He built VeggieTales from literally nothing. I mean, they made if you read his book, Me, Myself, and Bob, I think is the name of the book. Actually, honestly, phenomenal book. I would still recommend it. Just absolutely tremendous. But he talks about really how they built VeggieTales, and the computers were only capable of rendering out simple shapes. And so they decided to make the shapes vegetables because that was what was possible. And they came up with the whole magnetic hands. You never see their hands. They just hold stuff and you just assume that works. Like, really brilliant. Like, talk about I'm very passionate about this idea that it's not really an idea. It's a fact that you don't really build billion-dollar IPs without it starting super low budget. It always starts in a garage or a house and then expands into national pop culture. And that's certainly what VeggieTales was. Remember, VeggieTales, when I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, they were playing VeggieTales, Silly Songs with Larry, on the screen as part of the main entertainment for all the parents that showed up. Like they did all of it. Like, I mean, like, this thing was massive. And then, of course, you got to the Jonah movie, and then that, inflated the size of the business to really a size that was unsustainable. They had to fire a lot of people. There was some merchandising disputes, and the guy who oversaw their merchandise died, and so you can kind of go through all that sort of stuff. But he has really fallen downhill from this. So let's go here and
the household wealth. Why does that matter? Well, household wealth helps send kids to school, helps launch small businesses, stabilizes loss of income, and helps families survive catastrophic events like divorce or unemployment. What's amazing about this number is that there are lots of extremely wealthy African Americans, movie stars, pop stars, 75% of the NBA, 70% of the NFL, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Ben Carson, Morgan Freeman, and there are a lot of extremely poor white families. Think of Appalachia and other parts of rural America. But even when we factor all that in, the average black household still has only 1/10 the wealth of the average white household. How did that happen? Well,
is that a racial thing? Or is that a cultural thing? Because a lot of people right now would say that's a racial thing, but it's not. It's not a skin color issue. Why? It's a cultural issue. And where do cultural issues come from? Religious issues. So the problems with inequality deal with religion and culture, and also, might I add, politics. I mean, look, you have black urban communities who consistently, over and over and over again, vote for Democrats who imprison them with high regulations. They're not favorable to businesses. All that sort of stuff. None of this has anything to do with skin color, by the way, because I guarantee you, in those poor black communities, there's also this people living that are poor white communities. So this happens all, like, it's not a racial thing; it's a cultural thing. It's why, cities like New York and Los Angeles have really poor inner city areas, and they all vote Democrat. So why is the automatic conclusion from Phil the reason the reason everybody is poor in this area is because of racism? How come it's not because of politics? Right? Like, how come, like, all of these problems that he's talking about, I want you just to imagine in your head that these areas where these problems are, whether it's poor communities or fatherlessness or divorce, are also insanely liberal areas. They're the most liberal areas of any community.
Here we go. What happened after we freed the slaves, after the Civil War ended? 9 states enacted vagrancy laws, making it a crime to not have a job. The law was applied only to black men. 8 of those states then allowed prisoners, the black men who'd just been arrested for not having a job, to be hired out to plantation owners with little or no pay going to the prisoners themselves. So, that's right, men who had been freed from the...
If we can get into Thomas Sowell's book, Black Economics, on this, which we probably should get into Thomas Sowell's Black Economics book, Black Economics book, Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams, 2 really great economists that really kind of go into this a lot more. And I would argue, actually, that one, this was legitimate racism that was keeping the black man down. But even in the instances where racism was used by the left or the Democrats or by the racists to enact liberal policies, right? So what happened? Like, right, you had freed black men. They went to the North. This is one of my favorite stories. Phil Vischer would probably lose his mind about this. But free black men, they would move to the North. They would start jobs. They would clean houses. They would do all this work, and they would do it for less than white people, right? And so what did the white people do? They enacted a liberal policy. What's that liberal policy? The very first minimum wage law in the United States was enacted because the black people were taking jobs from the white people because they were working harder, and they were doing it for less. So free market was absolutely blessing these poorer communities. And what was the result to stop that? Liberal politics. So you want to look at all these communities where there's poor income and all these other sort of things, look to the politics. It's not just because an individual has a certain skin color. Don't let him pull that sheep's wool over your eyes. It's absolutely nonsense.
Plantations found themselves right back on the plantations. Additional laws prohibited mischief and insulting gestures, which allowed more black men to be arrested and created a huge market for convict leasing. Working conditions for these leased convicts could be worse than slavery because the plantation owner leasing the black prisoner had no long-term interest in his well-being. By the turn of the 20th century, every state in the South had mandated racial segregation by law, Jim Crow laws, which supported a social ostracism for blacks that extended to schools, churches, housing, jobs, restrooms, hotels and restaurants, hospitals, prisons, funeral homes, morgues, and cemeteries.
All these racial laws, by the way, are anti-free market. And consistent with liberal politics. So we can get into this. Let's jump to the
extremely
peaks.
Vulnerable economically. The overwhelming majority of African Americans in 1970 lacked college degrees and had grown up in fully segregated schools. In the second half of the 20th century, factories and manufacturing jobs moved to the suburbs. Black workers struggled to follow the jobs. They couldn't live in many of the new suburban developments. And as late as 1970...
Well, why do you think they moved to the suburbs. Do you think it had something to do with liberal politics in the in the inner cities? again, every sort of every time we can go through
only
this.
28% of black fathers had access to a car. When a white man in Cicero, Illinois, just outside Chicago, sublet an apartment to a black family, the white community rioted, setting fire to the apartment building and smashing windows until the National Guard had to intervene. The result of all of this: in 1970, 70% of African American men had good blue-collar jobs. By 1987, only 28% did. As unemployment skyrocketed in African American communities, so did drug use. As drug use increased,
Well, we know that the drug use in the black communities was started by the CIA. Nobody wants to talk about that though, because you have to be against a big government to really be able to talk about that. But that is an actual fact. So, but again, I think all the problems I think we could tie all these problems really to the implementation of leftist politics. Who, by the way, the left were the racist ones. And so the racist ones on the left were the ones that instituted these racist policies. And they were anti-free market, they were big government, they were pro-regulation, all these sort of things. Look, the town that I grew up in was, or is, majority, I guess you could say majority minority town, right? Like the minorities really are the majority there. It's a very poor community. There's violence that happens all the time. The government is completely ineffective and useless. And all of the problems for that, my home city, are a result of the leftist policies that continue to get enacted because we're not able to actually properly build out free market economies in these areas. I had a mayor, a guy who was running for mayor. He came and had a conversation with me, and he asked me. He said, "So if I make it to mayor, what would my if I were to make it for mayor, what should I keep in mind?" And so my response to him was very simple. You should make it as easy as possible for a poor person to be able to start a business. And you should make it as hard as possible for a wealthy person to be punished for having businesses. Those two things. That's it. So if you're implementing a regulation and it is to tax the rich, to make it so that you can get more money from a wealthy person or an individual, you're also making it harder that a poor person can start a business. So think about it. You have a guy, he has no money, but he found a hot dog cart on YouTube Marketplace for $50. So he buys the $50 hot dog cart from someone on Facebook Marketplace, and he decides that he's just going to go to the grocery store. He's going to buy hot dogs and buns, and he's going to start just selling hot dogs out of his cart. Well, he gets out to the street corner and he immediately starts selling. He's doing pretty good. He's starting to sell business. Police come. "Sorry, sir, do you have a permit for that?" "I don't have a permit for that." "Well, you have to get food inspection. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to get this permit. You have to get a business license. You have to pay this money. You have to pay these taxes. All these sort of things just to get started. You've made it too difficult for a poor person to be able to get a business." And these are the problems in black communities everywhere. You know, when you regulate the price of taxes on, let's say, cigarettes, for example, and people are smuggling in cigarettes from other counties where the taxes are cheaper, or the tobacco taxes are cheaper, and you have people that you've actually created a black market, and then the result is these guys who are just trying to sell cigarettes to people who can't afford a whole pack. They're trying to, sell individuals. They get arrested by the police and are thrown in jail, and it's you're making it difficult for poor people to start a business. And so every step along the way, that's kind of what you want to do. So we can talk about his views of, he can tie it to racism, but he doesn't really in this video properly. First off, I think it's actually pretty. I mean, just to be honest, this is a very pathetic attempt by Phil Vischer to say black people aren't capable of succeeding on their own. That's not the case at all. At all. Black people are capable of succeeding on their own, very much so, and they are being actively punished by liberal policies that make it more difficult for. We live in a society that punishes marriage, that punishes. When you can get all these tax credits and have to pay less taxes by being a single parent, it's more beneficial to do so. Like these are all leftist policies that are enacted on these sort of things. And Phil Vischer propagates this sort of nonsense. So I want to go to his current timeline, and you can see basically he's simping for David French. Like I've never seen a guy simp for David French as much as Phil Vischer does. It is absolutely diabolical. If you go here, look, I mean, just the very first tweet besides his Buck Denver radio show. Another important corrective. ICE leads the public to believe it has to flood the streets to remove the worst of the worst, when in many, many cases, they're just bragging about routine handovers that required absolutely no street deployments. So again, another David French, right? So like the chocolate bunny that Phil Vischer is bowing down to appears to be David French. Like this is crazy, right? Here, look, this is a fascinating tweet from him. Here, he's in a detention center, not prison, but the point still stands. They came legally. So he's talking about this 5-year-old kid who was taken away by ICE because the father abandoned him when he saw ICE, which, by the way, terrible parenting. Terrible parenting to do that. Absolutely diabolical to leave your child behind if you're fearful of ICE deporting you, especially if you're the kind of coward that's fearful of ICE, even though apparently you're actually a legal resident, right? Like this, like there's some serious trouble going on here that it really has nothing to do with ICE. And so, again, but look, this is a guy who's upset. He's upset that the ICE has separated. Here we go. Going after the worst of the worst, right? So he's upset that ICE is separating a father and a son. Yet, Phil Vischer supports abortion in some cases, right? So let's see if I can find that video, huh? Or actually, it was a tweet, wasn't it? Let's see if I can find this. I'm sorry, I'm looking. I want to read it before I show it, so I got the context. That was not necessarily. Let's see. Here we go. Got it. I wanted to make sure I got the right one. So Chris Oliver says, you just think it's okay for Christians to have different opinions on dismembering children is all. No big deal, right? And he says, nope again. Most Christians believe abortion should be permissible under certain circumstances, life of the mother, etc. But very few Christians approve of elective abortion after about 20 weeks, and neither do I. Very few Christians and clear-thinking non-Christians approve of elective abortion, period. We don't get to kill children. I think approve of elective abortion, period. We don't get to kill children only until they reach a certain age. Right, but a majority of Christians approve of some exceptions to the abortion ban. So this guy is a follower. He's not a leader. He has no courage, no boldness whatsoever. This is the guy that made Veggie Tales. This is what's so crazy. Like one of the biggest pop culture entertainment brands that Christianity has ever had. And he's completely caved as a spineless coward to every liberal policy that he can. And I don't know why he's done this. I have my theories. But it is absolutely, he's gone absolutely insane. He's gone absolutely insane. So here Bethel McGrew says, hey again, Phil. So hypothetically, an atheist looks you in the eye and says, Phil, I don't believe in anything, but I know a baby conceived in rape does not deserve to die, not third trimester, not second, not first. Yet your God says I might be wrong. Help me understand. Let's say hypothetically you say, well, I'm in line with the National Abortion NAE. What's NAE? NAE is the national. I used to know it. It's not the National Academy of Engineering. It is the National Association of Evangelicals. Okay, well, whatever. I kind of got that wrong, but so the National Association. Well, I'm in line with the National Association of Evangelicals. The atheist says, so I'm an atheist. Why should I trust the National Association of Evangelicals? Don't tell me what the National Association of Evangelical thinks. Tell me what you think and why. Sure, then we'd have a conversation. But most atheists I know want to know why I don't think a woman should have bodily autonomy, not why I might support one or two exceptions. It is fascinating to me that he goes with the crowd. He follows the crowd. Wherever he believes the majority is, that is his lane. He does not defer from that. He's not adventurous. He's not risk taker. He is completely afraid of being ridiculed by the left. That is what I believe him to be. And maybe some of it has to do with the fact that he thinks maybe one day he'll get VeggieTales back. Maybe he'll get the rights to VeggieTales back. Maybe he wants to buy the IP to the VeggieTales back. And so he's trying to just fall in line with the people who own the IP so that he's seen as a friend, and eventually they'll be willing to sell back their IP. But Phil, they're not going to give you that IP back. You lost it. It was sold. It is in the hands of whoever it's in the hands of, and it's not coming back to you. And I hope someone like Doug TenNapel, who did the Netflix version of VeggieTales, I hope he figures out a way to get the rights to VeggieTales back, and you never see them again until you repent of this nonsense. Because I don't want the creator of VeggieTales to be the guy that's supporting abortion in some cases. It's absolutely nonsense. So this means you're pro-choice, Atticus says. I believe I'm pretty close to most major pro-life orgs. I would agree with him. But I don't think I would want to be caught saying I agree with most pro-life organizations when it comes to the issue of abortion, because they don't have the best track record. But that's like saying you're pretty close to those who think adultery is wrong. You just allow for a once-a-year hall pass. No, most pro-life orgs also support exceptions for life of the mother, rape, and incest. I'd ask two things then. Which ones, and why would they call themselves pro-life? Well, pretty much all of them, Simon. I hate to disappoint you on the fact that the pro-life organizations are, for the most part, allegedly corrupt pro-life lobbies who really have no interest in ending abortion, but that's a whole another show. And I'm King Ginger Live is about media, so we'll stick to Phil Vischer and his opinions. Sorry. When it will save the life of a mother is an easy one for most Christians to agree on. Cases of rape and incest are supported by many, but you probably know this already. And William Wolfe, a real hero here, says, Phil, do you support legal abortion in instances of pregnancy resulting from rape? I don't have a specific position, but probably if it's early in the pregnancy. So this is a man who supports murdering children. There's no other way to argue that. I think you can make the case Phil Vischer hates children. because of that statement. At least some, depending on how old they are, he absolutely hates them, right? I mean, he's far past murder and the hatred of the heart, right? As the Bible says, if you commit hatred in your heart, you're guilty of murder. He's far past that. He's like, no. If they're under 20 weeks, rip them apart, rip them to shreds, suck them out with a vacuum cleaner, poison them to death with a pill. This is the man who creates children's content, Phil Vischer. Unbelievably disgusting and repulsive. But yet, this is the man who is upset with ICE. Sorry I wasn't sharing my screen during those tweets, by the way. If anybody wants to capture them, I just realized that. But here's some of them. We'll just go back. So if in case you don't believe me, you can screen grab them and read them later if you're watching this on Key, because I was not aware that I was not sharing that. But anyway, here we go. So this man who supports abortion, the murder of children, up to a certain age, only in certain circumstances, is also in opposition for some reason to ICE separating this guy from his parents. So let me ask you a question, Phil. And just in case you happen to be in the chat, you're welcome to hop on Discord, Mr. Vischer. Why are you okay with abortion? Why are you okay with abortion, which is the murdering of a child, but somehow the separation of a child by lawful federal employees offends you so much? I think it's because you're virtue signaling to your base. I would say you're virtue signaling to the owners of your IP. That would be my theory. And I think it's absolutely disgusting. Here it is, Phil Vischer saying that abortion. Hold on, let me get in close, because I want you guys to really understand what I'm saying here. And if you're in the chat and you agree with me, please feel free to let me know. But listen, Phil Vischer, you agree. Microphone closer. Phil Vischer, you agree that abortion in some cases is okay. That's the murdering of a child, the mother murdering a child. There is no greater separation of a child from their parents than abortion. And yet here you are, clearly upset and disturbed by ICE removing a child from his father. Do you know how many fathers have lost their children because some wicked woman has murdered them in the womb before 20 weeks? You don't even know. You don't even know because pills are so abundant. It's disgusting, and your logic is repulsive, and you deserve to be shamed for your position on ICE. Have a good day, sir. So, I mean, I just cannot handle this sort of nonsense, this sort of logical inconsistency. He's pandering to David French, talking about, oh no, the 5-year-old child was separated. He was separated from his father, who ran away like a coward. Even though he apparently was illegal, he left the child. And meanwhile, this same man supports the separation of a child from their parents by a brutal, disgusting murder. Whether it's through poison or a vacuum cleaner, he hates children. He hates children. There's no other way. There's no other way to say it. It's disgusting and repulsive, and he needs to be shamed for that sort of nonsense. I absolutely despise this sort of illogical, sort of nonsensical thinking, and I find it gross. I find Phil Vischer gross. This is a man who made his fortune and wealth from the church, from supporting and blessing many children, and here he is, on one hand, supporting the murder of children, and then on the other hand, he's horrified that this child was separated from his parents. It's it's ridiculous and disgusting and repulsive and gross. And I am sick of him acting like there's no problem here. And I will shout down this man and his nonsense anytime I see it. Uh, and so that is what I have to say about Phil Vischer. I don't have kind things to say about him, and neither should you anymore. I have kind things about what he did in the past, but presently, I think he's a disgusting, vile creature, in my opinion. So there. That is what I have to say about Phil Vischer and his sort of ice nonsense. I think it's repulsive and disgusting. And so yes, that is what I have to say there. Let me do one thing. How do you get? I'm trying to figure out how to get my tweets in the OBS chat. I'm not sure how exactly to do that. So anyway, what else is happening in the world today? Nicki Minaj joins Trump at Trump accounts launch, declares herself the top fan. Nicki Minaj got a gold card. Let's see what she has to say.
The best president. Hello guys, I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
that was not really. No, that wasn't. That video was mid. I've seen what the Trump team is capable of on their social media, and that was pretty mid. So, Nicki Minaj has received Donald Trump's gold card, which grants her U.S. residency. Where is she from? Where is she from? I guess I should know that. Where is Nicki Minaj from? St. James, Port of Spain, Trinidad, and Tobago. I actually think, but her childhood home was Queens, New York. I actually think, I could be wrong. Let me see if I am. Nicki Minaj, home, street. It might not be Nicki Minaj. I remember when me and my wife were on our honeymoon, we went to the Caribbean. We did this 10-day long cruise. It was way too long. We went on this cruise to, where did we go? The Caribbean area. So like a bunch of different islands. I don't even remember all the islands, but we didn't really have the money to be able to go and do a lot of excursions, but we were able to like just get like this random guy that was like, I'll drive you around, which is really silly to do, but we thought it'd be fun. So we hopped in his van, and he gave us a ride around whatever island it was. I don't remember, but we went through one. I don't know if it was Nicki Minaj, but they were very proud that this was the hometown of one of these pop stars that's now really big in the United States. And the whole street was painted, and they were talking about how she's renovated the whole street and all this sort of stuff. But really, it still looked pretty terrible. They just like painted the buildings bright colors. It's kind of like all they really did to it, but they were very proud of it. And it was kind of. It was kind of cool to see how excited they were. I don't know if it was Nicki Minaj though. I actually don't think it is, but I could be wrong. So, but I find it interesting that pop culture is trending towards Trump. That's pretty significant because conservatives are absolutely terrible when it comes to pop culture. So, to be able to see these sort of things. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe she was just doing it to get a gold card. Who knows, man? Maybe she had a reason. Maybe she truly believes in conservatism. Maybe she truly believes in Trump. But, you know, maybe she's doing it for a gold card. Neither way, can't blame her. So, I mean, look at it. It's a nice looking card. Look at this card. Here we go. Look at that. That's not too much, you know? Grabbing one of these cards, and all you got to do, man, those fingernails. Nope. Not a fan, but I mean, look, man, $5 million for a gold card to get you United States residency. Well, I think it's worth it. It's the greatest country in the world. Oh, yeah. Sorry I'm streaming later tonight, by the way. I tried to stream earlier, but I had to stream later tonight because I had meetings that ran long with work. And so here's another video. This is her receiving her gold card, I believe. Maybe.
Good to see you. Great.
See, they forgot I was here now. They came in.
What else is showing up?
Mr. President.
Where did that go, fast? Hello.
She surprises a lot of workers for Trump in the Oval Office. Okay. So, Christopher Seagrove says, your chats on Kick aren't showing up, and there are some bots over there. I'm not getting my Kick chats. Oh. Thanks for letting me know. Let's kick them. I didn't realize that I'm connected to Kick. You know what? I'm using the Rumble Studio. That's what it is, man. I'm using the Rumble Studio, and it's not connected to Kick Chat, apparently. Let me fix that. Thank you for telling me, Chris. You said that I had bots. I got your text message, but I assumed that the bots were a result of oh yeah, man, there's some people in my Kick Chat. Guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry about that. First off, CC Groves, you need to be moderated. I thought you were. Let me make sure that happens. Okay. You should be a moderator now, CC Groves, and I'll make you a VIP. Why not? You're a VIP. And I'll make you an OG. Oh, you are an OG. Okay. What can OGs do? I don't know. That's a good question. It just lets you get a special badge. So let me pop out my Kick Chat. And then copy. See if I can copy. Here it is. Okay, and then I'll add the Kick Chat to my OBS doc, which should already be there. It is already there. So I think I should get the Kick stuff, but the chat's not coming up on the chat is not. Why is that not working? See, this is why, like, I try to use Rumble. They're like, oh, use Rumble. Rumble's going to be the future. Rumble's going to be the future. And every time I use it, man, it's just not as fluent as I would hope that it is. So if you're on the Kick Chat now, hopefully I can see your chats at least a little bit. Let me better position my Kick Chat. Hopefully that'll help. So, but it's not coming up on my. Why is it not coming up on my? It's not coming up on the screen, is it? Well, that is not fun. If you're in the Kick Chat, say hello. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read some of your comments so I don't miss your guys' comments in the Kick Chat. Sorry about that. I really am. Let's see. CC Groves, you are a mod now, so if you ever see any bots, you should have the authority to delete them, which it looks like somebody already has. So so the different CC Grove says man, you guys were really chatting and I completely missed it. I really feel bad about that. So CC Grove says the difference between Phil and the skinheads. The difference between Phil and the skinheads I grew up around is that Phil thinks he's acting out of compassion for those people. That's true. That's true. But they are otherwise believe the same things. Cage Stage says, cigars, bro. This is real. Sup, my dude. What's up, Cage Stage? Hope you're still in the chat. CC Griff says, which communities are abortion clinics most likely to be found in? That's a great question, man. I wonder if Phil Vischer would like to answer that question, seeing that he supports abortion in some cases. Which communities do Democrats push birth control on the most? It's another fantastic question, CC Groves. I don't know if Phil wants to know the answer to that. Which skin colors are put on the Pride infertile lifestyle? It's another great question, CC Groves. It's like the left doesn't want more black kids. I would agree. I would agree with you. So, and then I have Progon. What's up, Progon? Welcome to the chat. And then I have some banned messages, which are just promotion. Thank you, CC Groves. Bam! Your moderation powers work, man. way to use that ban hammer on those bots. Because we are going to become superstar streamers without any bots. That's my goal. So, death to the bots. Happy to have you, Progon. If you're still in there listening, thanks for joining and entering the chat. Sorry I missed. I really hate that I missed that those chats in the beginning, but you know, that's just sort of what happens. And I still don't think I'm getting the Kick Chat. CC Groves, if you're in there, if you could send a test chat so I can see if it comes up in my OBS. That way I don't miss anything in the future. If anyone's in the chat on Kick, I'd appreciate just a test chat so I could make sure it's working in my OBS so I don't miss anything. Test. Yeah. Okay. I think I have to fix this because that chat is, that's not working. What is going on here? Okay. Copy. And then go to docs, custom browser docs. And then I should have Kick Chat. Okay, I was on a different channel. So let's go to docs, Kick Chat. There it is. There it goes. All right, we're good to go now. Thanks for coming to the YouTube and rescuing the chat, CC Groves. Appreciate that. Perfect. What's up, Scott Fixes It? Awesome. All right, man. We're good to go. We got the chat worked out, at least to some degree. I wish I could figure out, dude, why does Rumble not incorporate Rumble Studio Kick Chats? How to set up Kick Chat in OBS Studios. I don't want to watch a video. I don't have time to watch a video. I'm doing it live. So I'll have to figure that out. Because if you have to use OBS Studio on Rumble. What's up, by the way? Is there anybody on Rumble? Like, I feel like I really am trying to give Rumble the credit it deserves, but I just feel like I just get no attention there. And the reason I'm doing it today is because the guys from Rumble actually responded to one of my tweets when I was asking them about shorts. So I was kind of curious about that. So worth a shot, I guess. But I really wish all the chats were seamless in Rumble Studio if I'm going to use it. Because you guys should see my OBS screen. There's just several different chat windows. But obviously that doesn't matter because Rumble doesn't want you streaming anywhere else. They just want you streaming. To them, which is understandable, I guess. But not very helpful for building a platform in the long term. So, and also too, like, Rumble's very confusing because, yeah, I have nothing in my Rumble. So there's nothing happening. I have 0 followers because I had to create a channel, and the channel. So you have your name, and then you have your channel. And then the channel has 0 followers, even though under my name I have 136. So it's almost like I got to start over. But I'm gonna start putting shorts up there, at some point. I think is gonna be, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot. The Rumble stuff. So always willing to give it a shot. You know, so you never know. You never know what'll happen. So. But yeah, I'm going to close Rumble screen for now because there's just nothing happening there. So, what else is happening in the world today? I feel like there was some other stuff that happened that I tweeted. But Mike Winger. Have you guys been following Mike Winger? This man is on a rampage. It is absolutely tremendous. I'm going to show you his channel, by the way. Mike Winger has 961,000 subscribers. He's about to surpass 1 million. Congratulations to him. I just want to show you. These are the last few videos that he's done. A 5-hour and 50-minute diabolical expose on Sean Bowles. This has just been tremendous. I'm still watching this, by the way. I love the orchestral music. As the caption says, I did not want to make this video. This is an insane video. It's 5.5 hours long, and I have not had 5.5 hours to watch this whole thing. I think I might be halfway through, but it is just phenomenal journalism going through these guys and sort of first-hand accounts, text messages, voice recordings, videos, going through all the sort of awful behavior of Mike Bowles, sexual depravity, homosexuality, just you name it. He was responsible for, and it's just
or the special ones. But like Elijah Stevens, he wasn't the special one, right? To me he is, but he wasn't. Sean Bowles faked prophecy by data mining Facebook and Google. This is a document we have not seen that has not been released publicly. I've asked for it. They spread it around to each other. They just wouldn't show you.
Documents by Sean Bowles was
very, very, very hard to hear what's happening here, but the point is that everybody knew. Excuse me. Everybody knew what was going on with Mike Winger and the crimes he was committing. And they knew it internally, and they never shared it publicly as a way to protect people. And it's really disgusting. And you should absolutely watch the video. It's just phenomenal journalism. I love deep dives into this sort of stuff. Not because I take pleasure in what it's about, but just the quality of production and journalism is something worthy to be praised for sure. But then today he dropped this one, which is the truth. I can finally
video
show
simply
you evidence. And it's a 4-hour-long epic masterpiece, completely binge-worthy about Todd White. And I am probably not even halfway through this. I actually skipped some parts because I just didn't have the time to listen to it. But like, I'm just going to tell you, I've been watching these videos, like 9 hours of videos the guy's dropped in like 11 days. Or 10 hours of video. And it's just incredible work. And I feel like he's burned down the entire Bethel empire, because Bethel's at the center of all these people. And they all knew what was going on. They all kept it. He calls it cover-up culture. They all kept it internal. They knew it was fraudulent. They knew it was lying, and they still did it anyway. It's truly unbelievable. So no, I'm not going to walk through and do commentary and react to a 6-hour-long video on stream. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But if you have time, I've been listening as I drive in my car. You know, I live in a small town, so you're only driving like 2 to 5 minutes somewhere. I've just been listening as I drive in my car, any sort of time that I have, like in between, just piece by piece by piece by piece, just unable to stop watching this. So congratulations to Mike Winger for this, man. It's phenomenal work. It's the kind of journalism that I think Christianity has needed for a very long time. So props to Mike Winger for that. But holy cow, the guy is on a rampage. You know, if you thought the Sean Bowles was bad, and then boom, just as Bethel came out with a statement about Sean Bowles, and they apologized and admitted they were wrong. Boom, and now it's Todd White. I mean, just talk about drip, a drip campaign. That's absolutely crazy. Just tremendous work there, Mike Winger. I just really want to show appreciation for you on that one. What else is going on? I feel like there was a really good movie trailer I saw recently, but there was. Oh, you know what there was? There was a. Here it is, dude. This is phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen this, have you guys seen this? This dropped today. It dropped 13 hours ago. I saw it. It's test footage somebody made to try to convince Paramount to let him produce and direct the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. This is phenomenal. Check this out. I'm going to talk about this, but the thing I love is that they have guns. Like, I so love that the foot soldiers have guns. It's foot soldiers, right? The putty soldiers are Power Rangers, right? Yeah, I think they're the foot soldiers. I also love that they're robots. I'll explain why in a minute. You'll see, but I love that they're robots. Oh, man. All right, first off, I gotta say, just right off the bat, I absolutely love how they look. I don't care that it's 3D animation. I just love how they kept the look of the live action movie, and they didn't try to make them horrifying, ugly, disgusting Michael Bay creatures. That is tremendous. mean, look at that. Look at that. Don't you want that action figure? I want that action figure. That's the action figure I want of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it still looks realistic, but it still looks like it's right out of a comic book. That's exactly what you want. And it looks exactly like, I mean, just, man, this is just tremendous. Okay, I never thought about them getting shot in the back and whether or not their shells were bulletproof or not. But see if I was trying to see if I can grab a screwdriver. I mean, look at that, dude. That is fantastic. So yes, the turtle shells are bulletproof. All right, have you figured out why I love that they're robots yet? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you can figure out why I love that they're robots. That's the clearest example right there. Yeah, the front part of their shells are bulletproof as well. Holy cow, this is good, guys. Oh! Oh man, I love it. And in the YouTube description, by the way, in the YouTube it says "anger is a gift." I just love that tagline. It is unbelievable. So CC Grove's got it though. The Foot Clan, not the Foot Soldiers, the Foot Clan. But CC Grove says they were robots in the cartoon. Is that true? I didn't know that. But that makes sense. I did not know that. Dude, I watched Turtles as a cartoon when I was like a kid, so I just believed everything was real. But yes, the answer is you can have more violence as long as it's against clankers. That's correct. CC Grove says, I'm taking my boys to see that. It's not real. It's just someone auditioning. He tagged Paramount Pictures in it. He absolutely should get the job. There's obvious parts of it that the choreography didn't exactly line up with the events that were happening on screen. So, but, I mean, look, it's a low budget indie project that guy made as a way to, prove himself. But I think he's proved himself. They should give him the gig. If they don't give him, I mean, they should at least hire him to work on the production, but they should for sure follow his design, because that's exactly what people want. People just want the turtles to be the turtles. Look, if you're not going to use the robots again, which I think they should, by the way, I think they should do Industrial Light and Magic's puppetry, or is it Jim Henson's Creature Shop? They were kind of like together. Well, who did? I think it was Jim Henson, right? Jim Henson, TMNT. Yes, yep. Jim Henson actually was the one that did the robotics and puppetry for the original, which is phenomenal. So. NRG 753 says, "Isn't that a Rage Against the Machine song?" Are you talking about the song that was in the Turtle demo we just saw? I hope not. I don't want to get my account copyrighted struck. CC Grove says it's way too late. Good night, folks. Thanks, C Groves, for all your help in the chat. well-deserved moderation for sure. So really appreciate that. So, oh, by the way, CC Groves, if you haven't left yet, when you texted me and said there were bots in the chat, I thought you were referring to chats from YouTube the last time I streamed on Monday. And that was because the chats on YouTube I got hit by an Indian bot farm, and I just had like 70 bots watching on YouTube out of nowhere. It was crazy. It was crazy. And the guy was like, "These are all my friends." Like, there was one guy talking, and then everybody else was like, "Sending love from Mohit." Like that's literally what they said. "Forever love from Mohit." And it was just like all these like random comments. And I said that we don't take well to bots here. And he said, "These are not bots. These are my friends." And I said, "Well, if they're real people, then send super chats." And of course, he never sent super chats. So that's why when you said there were bots in the chat, I was assuming that you were referring to some of the. I didn't know if the chat from the last stream displayed on this stream. It does for Kick. It collects your chat into one display. So I wasn't sure what you were doing, but yeah, thanks for letting me know there were bots in the Kick chat, and you have mod now. Have a great night, CC Groves. Appreciate it. So that was really good. So yeah, so that was something I wanted to show you guys. I thought was really phenomenal. And I'm super hyped about. It's so good. I got to send that to Jason, by the way. Jason's got to see that. Oh, we got a super chat from Jesus King 51. Super chat, yeah. No, I can read it. Let's see what it says. She says, "Aloha, King Ginger. Love the streams. Keep them coming. Love the entertainment, behind the scenes commentary. I don't naturally think the way you do. It's fascinating. Blessings from Kauai." Well, thank you for the $10 super chat. That's tremendous. I really appreciate that a lot. You have no idea how much that means to me. So thank you for that. And also from Kauai, I miss it out there. I spent probably about a month out there in total, as we were planning Apologia Kauai, and did about 3 documentaries on the hostile takeover of the Marines who took over the island. So yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, how is it out there on Hawaii? It's been a while, Kauai, it's been a while since I've been there. I'll tell you, I would not be a fan of living on Kauai, because I felt like the island it wasn't that the island's so small. I don't mind small towns. It's just that you can't escape. Right? Like, you can't really escape. Like, I like, it's almost like like you're trapped. You're trapped on the island in the middle of nowhere. I remember at night walking on the beach and going, "Holy cow, you're thousands of miles away from civilization." I know there's hospitals and there's stores and stuff on Kauai and all that sort of stuff, but it just felt like so claustrophobic. Jesus King says, "It's amazing. I can't believe I get to live here." I am glad you live there. I am sorry the Americans stole the island from you guys and made it worse. So, I actually want to do a movie one day about the missionaries that went to Kauai, transformed Kauai into a Christian nation, and then the Marines come and kidnap the Queen and take over the island. I think it's one of the greatest Christian stories of all time. But yeah, that was just my feelings of being on the island. And the reason is because I grew up on the East Coast, and then I moved to the West Coast. And when I lived in Arizona, uh, I felt like you were trapped because in Virginia, if you drive 9 hours, you can visit 5 or 6 different states and all the different cultures, and you could do more than 5 or 6 different states. Like a 9 hour drive, you could go to New York. You can go past New York for 9 hours from where I lived, and then you could go all the way down to Atlanta on a 9 hour drive. So just a lot to see and do. And then you get to the West Coast, and you're like, well, if I drive 5 hours, I'm still in hot desert areas. and then when you go to Kauai, you're like, oh man, like now I really can't leave. I'm not Hawaiian, so it's all good. Total travesty though. Yeah, it is a travesty. But yeah, well, enjoy your time out there. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats. Really do appreciate it. It's really great. So, but yeah, and the streams. Yeah. So be sure to tell your friends and share the word about the streams. Help grow the streams, and because I really love doing them. And the more people that watch, the more fun a stream is, especially when you have interactions in the chat. I could stream for hours as long as there's people in the chat to talk to. The trouble is trying to keep up the energy when the chat is slow. That's really hard to do. So, trying to see if I could find anything else to talk about at this moment. But now that I know you're from Kauai, Jesus is King, I know why you're always on my later streams. That makes sense. What is this that came in my recommends? This is called Snoop Frog. And it's Kermit sings Gin and Juice.
My mind on my money, my money on my mind.
It's phenomenal!
Sipping on gin and juice. With so much drama in the LBC, it's hard being Snoop F-R-O-G-G.
How do they fit that in?
Raise off these nuts, 'cause you get none of these. I roll through the frog pond, feel the breeze. It's 2 in the morning and the party's still jumping while you motherfuckers bounce to this.
Unbelievable.
Pose and
Okay. But unbelievable. The channel's called There I Ruined It. They've had some good stuff. What else they got? Let's see what their most popular one is. I made a song entirely from artists singing Yeah. Here we go. Unbelievable. Unbelievable talent, unbelievable.
No, God, please, no, no!
oh yeah!
It's fantastic. What a great channel. What a great channel. So, by the way, I don't know if I showed you guys yet. This is my favorite conspiracy theory of all time. We'll go through this. My favorite conspiracy theory is that Dave was actually Michael Jackson and appeared on Larry King after faking his death, finally answering questions about his life truthfully. Dave basically tells Michael Jackson fans exactly why he faked his death here. I'm going to pull this up. This is tremendous, by the way, if you guys haven't seen this. So this is during Michael Jackson's, I think, burial procession. So Larry King had this guy on who was a friend of Michael Jackson's named Dave. And Dave is a burn victim. And we'll get into his story. But the similarities between him and Michael Jackson are incredible. And what I want you to think of is I want you to imagine that this is Michael Jackson in a full costume. And he's speaking truthfully to his fans about why he had to fake his death. That's all I'll say.
It's now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely passing, longtime Michael Jackson friend attending the funeral, and Dave, yes, that's his name, Dave. He was David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1983, suffered, as you can see, terrible scars. Michael Jackson befriended him and paid for a lot of his surgeries.
I'm not saying that Dave is not a real person. I believe that Dave is a real person. But what I'm saying is, in this interview, the theory is that this is Michael Jackson and not Dave.
Dave is also attending the burial. Why Dave?
Well, to liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
Caused the...
All right. So, why is his name Dave? He's liberating himself from the crimes of his father. Right?
From the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he...
Okay, so his father caused the fire. He's calling the father a criminal. If you know, Michael Jackson got burned too. And he had a really terrible relationship with his father as well. So, just throwing this out here.
Caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to...
So he's trying to free himself from his name and his legacy, the Jackson name, the Jackson 5, all the stuff. Because his father was pretty abusive and pretty demanding, and they had a pretty sour relationship.
Become my own person through changing my name.
We'll find out how...
He wants to become his own person by changing his name. So Michael Jackson, so much fame, he could never escape the paparazzi. Everybody was following him. The only solution is to fake his name.
Michael helped you, but...
Isn't this a fun? This is a fun conspiracy theory. I saw something on Twitter today, and it was talking about how they missed the times where conspiracy theories were like not important, and people didn't get really passionate about it, but they were just fun. This is one of my favorite ones.
Miko, is that a typical story of Michael helping people like this?
Absolutely. When he would hear about stories of...
He heard about me, and he had contacted me and wanted to meet me.
How old were you?
Dave met Michael
I was about 7 years old at the time.
And were you in the hospital?
I was not in the hospital at the time. I was in interim back and forth from surgery.
And what did he do for you?
Well, basically, he befriended me. He took me into his life, which is very rare for Michael to do. But he opened up his arms to me and accepted.
So this is so I mean, you can read the comments on here. It's pretty well. You have to go to the actual YouTube video. Let's go to the actual YouTube video. I'll show you the comments on this. Here, 1 second. And okay. So, someone says, that's MJ. I don't care what anyone says. The voice is undeniable. That's Michael for sure. He's literally answering the questions he always wanted to answer in his way. It's like he's finally sticking up for himself, and the interviewers know it. It's legit. If this was legitimately Michael Jackson's comeback performance, would probably be the single greatest organized event in human history. I decided to become my own person by changing my name. See, this is a great conspiracy theory. This is a great conspiracy theory. Like, I really, it's just wholesome. You know, it's wholesome. It's not crazy or ridiculous. So if you guys want to, and if you Google YouTube videos, there's some really good ones. Dave is Michael Jackson shorts. There's some shorts. So this is like some audio. There's some audio analysis here.
From the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he...
People say the eyes are unmistakably Michael Jackson, by the way. And I would agree. That, like, they look...
Separate myself from my father and to establish myself as an artist. It was kind of like an artistic decision to do that. And myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he... Myself from the confines of my...
So, I mean, it's awesome. It's just a great conspiracy theory.
People think this is Michael Jackson and that he's not dead and that he went on...
What the hell? Looks like a severe burn victim to me.
You're talking about Jackson.
And Dave.
Dave
yes,
is
that's
here.
his name, Dave.
And the theory is
David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1980.
And that's just gonna play the video we just saw, but
there's a crazy theory like about Michael Jackson still being alive. Huh? There's this guy, right? His name is Dave. Dave, okay. Bro, I'm gonna show you a picture. People are saying he's Michael Jackson. He was even...
Look, that's pretty... Like, that's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Like, just in general, like, that's really crazy.
Part of a fire before where his face got burnt.
Yeah.
And then he had to get, like, plastic surgery.
Oh, shit.
Now, after Michael Jackson died, this guy came out. His name was Dave. And he said that he was friends with Michael Jackson. He was close to him.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where he came from, right? And it just so happens he was part of a fire that made his face look like this. Around the same time when Michael Jackson died.
Nah.
Now listen to Dave's voice.
That's not entirely true. I think Dave could be a real person. But I think Michael Jackson took his identity after he died, and the real Dave kind of might have slipped away. Or reappeared as Dave. But every time Michael Jackson appears in public, it's as Dave.
Nah. Criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is...
That sounds like a Michael Jackson impression. There's a crazy theory.
All right. So anyway, that's my Dave theory. I just love that one. It's a good one. You know, they don't make wholesome conspiracy theories anymore. So whenever you find one, you just got to share it with the world, you know. Just completely inconsequential. A little bit of hope, just a little bit of hope, you know, that one day we'll be watching a Super Bowl and out comes Michael Jackson out of nowhere and everyone's like, "What happened?" And he goes, "I was Dave." I just like it. I think it's great. So, well, guys, first off, thanks to Jesus the King 51 for this $9.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. That's really a blessing. So thank you for that. Be sure, if you're following me on YouTube, be sure to follow me on Kick. And again, thanks everybody. I will stream again probably Saturday. Yeah, I'll probably stream again Saturday. Won't be able to do it. I was thinking about doing like a morning stream at some point. Maybe from like 7 to 9 or something like that, just to see if the audience is different. So I might do that sometime. I don't know when. Could be tomorrow. Who knows? Especially if I wake up and there's something to talk about. That's the hardest thing, is like when you wake up, you have to talk about stuff. But if you wait till the night, you've already had a whole day to think about what you're gonna what you gonna talk about? So, NRG says, thanks for the stream, Marcus. God bless, brother. Great. Thank you for joining, NRG. Be sure to follow me on Kick, kick.com/IamKingGinger. That I'm King Ginger. That's kick.com, not the weird chat app, KIK, not that one. So again, yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you guys